Recently, my Mandarin ball python female laid a beautiful clutch of eggs, so I'm going to show you guys how I remove the eggs, get them in an incubation box, and put them in the incubator. So we start by removing the snake from her eggs, and then we actually have to mark the tops of the eggs so that they don't accidentally roll around. Then it was time to prep the incubation box. I'm a big fan of Sim Container. That's what I use, and I highly recommend them. I started by just adding some perlite to the bottom and water to maintain a high humidity throughout incubation, and then put the trays on top for the eggs to sit on. So these eggs are actually kind of glued together in a way, so we have to be really careful separating them so I can put them in the tray. Once all 7 eggs were in the Sim container, it was time to put the lid on and pop them into the incubator. Ball python eggs take about 2 months to hatch, so now we just play the waiting game, and in about 60 days or maybe even a little bit less, we'll have some baby snakes crawling around. A couple months ago, one of my ball pythons laid a beautiful clutch of eggs, and the wait is now over because they have begun to hatch. This was the very first baby that had pipped out of the egg and crawled all the way out. You can see its little belly button right there where the umbilical cord used to be. Since one already pipped and completely crawled out of the egg, all the others are about ready as well, so I'm just going to cut a little slit at the very top of the egg. The reason why so many snake breeders do this is because sometimes on occasion a snake won't be able to cut its way out of the egg on its own. Now this is rare, but sometimes a snake, if it can't completely cut itself out of the egg, it will drown and die inside, so we want to give the snakes every chance at life we possibly can. This does not in any way hurt them, it just gives them an opening to be able to crawl out of when they are completely ready to come out on their own. After cutting all the eggs, it looks like all of the babies inside are perfectly healthy, so that's great news. In the meantime, these eggs will go back into the incubator as we wait for all the little babies to crawl out and get them moved over, so I'll keep you guys updated. Recently, one of my ball pythons laid a beautiful clutch of eggs. We incubated them and cut them open to make sure all of the babies could get out safe, and they have all finally came out of the egg. All of them came out within a few days of each other, and they all look super happy and healthy. They are so tiny, they all fit in one hand. Now we move them on to their next stage of life, which is to wait for them to shed out. It usually takes about a week. We put them in a moist tub, separated them into a group of 4 and a group of 3 since there was 7 of them. Then once they're all finished shedding, we'll get a better idea of what their true colors look like. Recently, I hatched 7 baby ball pythons, and here's an update a couple weeks after they've hatched. They have all settled in absolutely fantastically and are all eating, which is great. This exact snake is the genetic combination I was shooting for in this clutch. So this is a Mandarin ball python that's het for Desert Ghost. Mandarin is a fairly new gene that has been gaining a lot of popularity over the last few years. It brings out a lot of those rustic orange colors, and they're absolutely gorgeous. The Super Mandarin, though, is even crazier.